this variable L, then they would still be able to use it. If they weren't set into a variable, just use it inline, it would still replace it with something that would break it. So good enough, good enough. All right? So it's tough, and we got a lot of ground to cover, but it's not as hard as we've kind of let it get. We've let it get out of control. As far as the anonymizing stuff, there's a lot of things we can do to try and increase a little bit of privacy, give us a little bit of an edge when it comes to being fingerprinted. And then that'll also kind of neuter some of the attacks, because they often need to know what browser you have to own you, right? So there's a couple things we can do there. Normally I don't want to be one of the herd, but you know, when you're running around with people you can consider your peers, maybe that's not so bad. So the more of us that contribute signatures, the more interesting things might get as far as privacy. So I have a few extra minutes. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
What about Zeus?
What about Zeus? That's not me. That's always my fear, but I can prove that's not what my laptop has on it. Okay? What about Zeus? Well, what about it? What do you mean? Oh, redirecting the stuff. Yeah, we can totally hijack redirects. The problem as experimenting with it, hijacking redirects, is there's a lot of them in a lot of applications. The way that it could help, which I don't have it specifically yet, but if we manipulate the redirect slightly, and see, the nice thing about having the proxy too, especially when you're talking about a whole network of machines that you're doing this for, once you've scanned it, or at least weighted how dangerous it is, or okayed or whitelisted it, you can cache it, right? So the bait and switch stuff, as far as redirects, like it's clean there, is you'll save that. Redirecting oh, from, yeah, especially the cookie, what do you call it? Cookie escrow. And anything that would be a cross-site request forgery, as well as redirects. If you're controlling the stuff that's used to keep track of your transactions, to keep track of your sessions, instead of the browser automatically following the cookie HTTP only expires stuff, you get control of that. That could help. I'd have to look at it again though to see, because we've done a lot of weird things in the last month. I'd have to look at it a little more closer, because you know Zeus changes every couple of months. Yeah.
What about using scores from JSLint or Kaha, the Google safe script, and looking at how the scripts change from that as a way to do automatic ranking and not depend on the Farmville vote?
Yeah, using other signatures would be good. I didn't like any of the ones I looked at. Oh, sorry, yeah. The question was, what about some of the, if I'm going to rephrase it slightly, what about some of the other projects out there that do weight how the dynamic aspect of a script and how, you know, maybe even potentially dangerous it is. Is that close enough rephrase or? Sure. There are other metrics we can use to help us rate how dangerous it might be, besides just people voting on if it's dangerous, or using very granular things. The ones that were out there, I didn't get a good feel for. I don't know if it was just I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, but the ones I looked at other work that had done that didn't really look that good to me, but I don't know. Maybe I just looked at it on the wrong day. Yeah. Right, yeah, the question was, is it designed so that we can have it portable enough to have on random machines to build up the pool? You said infect. I don't know I would use the word infect, but to supplement the collection of signatures and to help us increase and protect other people. Yeah, it is definitely possible. Some of the browser helper object stuff isn't that portable as far as it wants to be able to see something it can talk to. So that would be something to work on in the future, definitely. Something that had more of a web service model to go and deal with signatures and update and things like that. But that's a lot of work left to do. We want to work out the mechanics and see if it's worth deploying an infrastructure to do it, to support it. All right, I'm pretty much out of time, but we're going to go to 113. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to send me an email. It's easy enough to find me. But thanks for coming here on a Sunday morning. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.